Hello. What is up? This is alertwolf here with another DC Nation review. And this time, it is of Young Justice, Season 2, Episode 19. This one's called Summit. Or if you were paying attention to the big episode count, it's just Episode 45. Now, this Summit, wow, if I could give Summit a subtitle, it'd be Turnabout is Fair Play. This episode was amazing. It starts off like interesting and cool, and you don't know where it's going. You think maybe it's boring, because what happens is there's a summit between the Reach and the Light, obviously, because they've been fighting, and Calderon is Calderon. See, I was calling him Calderon. Aqua Lad is called on to do security for the place, and it's the Light members that are there is Ra's al Ghul and Randall Savage, Black Manta. Obviously, Artemis, Aqua Lad is there, and we also see that Deathstroke is there too. Now. And the Reach is there, the political Reach, the ambassador, the scientist, and the Black Beetle, who's pulled off watching War World. Now, this episode, woo, I'll tell you what, DC Nation this week is on fire. Fire. Why would you cancel 2 shows this good? And so let me quickly get this out of the way. In the description below, you are going to find a bunch of petitions. One for this show and Green Lantern, one for Tron, and one because for Henshin Ikeda's petition to change the copyright laws in YouTube to stop thumbnails from being abused and used as a battering ram to take videos off the air by such greedy, small-minded companies as Sony Music from Japan and Aniplex from Japan. Shame on both of you. Handing out copyright strikes to people when their videos have nothing to do with any of their content. It's just the thumbnail they're upset at, and the thumbnail is fair use. YouTube knows this. It's been proven time and time again in US law. But YouTube is a coward who doesn't stick up for their people. They just bow to the pressure, and it's not even pressure. Sony's a big name, I understand that. So you do what Sony says. You know, even if this is a small division out of Sony, you still do what Sony says. So, but YouTube has always been like that. Ever since Google took over, YouTube has been bad. But whatever. But back to the matter at hand. That's enough out of that. So, they're discussing everything. Black Manta and Black Beetle almost get into a fight. Calderon breaks it up. They agree to disagree, and then during the scuffle, before it was broken up, Artemis's jewel gets identified by one of the older beings in the room, Ra's al Ghul, who during the middle of the summit walks over, rips it off. She turns into Artemis. They figure it out. If Artemis isn't dead, then that means he's been playing you, and if he's been playing you, that means things are bad. And they're like, well, we'll kill them. And then Black Manta's like, no, don't kill them. Because, again, Black Manta loves his kids. I feel bad. If there's any, in this whole scenario, one person I feel bad for who's a supervillain, it's Black Manta. But then they get shot and apparently killed by Deathstroke, who kills both of them, shoots them in the chest. As they go down, a final message from Calderon gets played, a whole, big F you guys. And he calls everybody out on their secretive bullshit. Thus, they're no longer allies, and now they have to fight. And that's exactly what happens. You find out the Light's ultimate goal is galactic conquest. They want to take over the whole Milky Way. Not just the Earth is inconsequential to them. So then we get we get a fight now. Now they're gonna fight, and as things start to heat up, you know, he's like, "Why would you do this to me?" Then they get up. They're not dead, and it turns out Deathstroke wasn't Deathstroke, but Miss Martian. And he's like, "Yeah, you guys have been consistently underestimating us." Talking to Randall Savage, and yeah, but now we won't. And then ninjas, you know, he opens up the roof. Ninjas start falling everywhere. They'll like kill everybody. And then they're like, "All right, you still underestimating us." Then half the ninjas turn into the League. I mean, not the League. Young Justice, yo. So we get Superboy. We get both Kid Flash and Impulse. We get who's all about seeing Artemis again, right? So we get Lagan. We get Batgirl. We get Nightwing. We get Robin. We get I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting people. We get Mal Duncan, baby, as the Guardian. We get Bumblebee or whatever. We get I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but we get a bunch of ass-kicking people. You know what I'm saying? And the fight breaks out with everybody. I mean, obviously some ninjas aren't, but they start wrapping people up. Now, Black Beetle kills Ra's al Ghul. Well, we all know what that means. That mofo is gonna go in the Lazarus pit again, and he'll be fine. Basically, Randall Savage and Blue Beetle. There we go. And we get Blue Beetle. I knew I was missing somebody. Randall Savage calls out the Lord of Chaos from his ring. He does a fire dragon to take out Miss Martian, and then they bounce. And basically, we get a fight: Black Manta versus his father. Then Lagan saves Miss Martian because he still cares about that crazy green bitch, and she thanks him, and they start, you know, basically, you know, you know what surprises me is the Black Beetle should have done more, but he really was like side fighting some strong characters, I guess. Superboy, you know, and who else? Well, he was fighting somebody. Well, it was Superboy, the Flashes, all of them. Oh, Beast Boy versus Gorilla, not Gorilla Grodd, but the Brains Monkey dude, Gorilla dude. I'm blanking out on his name, but it was just awesome fights all around. Then they sweep up. Basically, Young Justice kicks both sides' asses, and something important happens. Black Beetle declares what's his face as useless, as an unfit leader, and just says no to the leader of the Reach, and makes the Scientist the new leader and bounces with her. Basically, Black Manta ends up losing to his son, who is badass. With the magic, the water magic, he's like water bending the shit out of stuff. And that's what I'm saying, man. He's a water bender. So there you go. Aqua Lad is a water bender. Okay. Now, if the episode had just ended here, it would have been like a 4. You know what I mean? Because it is pretty good. Amazing fights. You know, the team triumphing, upper hand victory. I mean, again, you know, he had to beat his dad, and he had to betray his father, and you could tell it took a toll out of him because, you know, he found out his dad's not completely a dick, but he's still crazy. But then we have other things, you know. But then again, if it had just ended here, but no. Again, turnabout is fair play. So then we get the wrap up, and in the wrap up, all of a sudden, you know, the Reach gets kicked off of Earth because they're like, you know what, F you guys, you got, you know, with all the evidence the Justice League has now, they were proven to be frauds, and thus their invitation was rescinded. Just like a vampire, they've been kicked out. Now the Green Lanterns can intercept. Um, Calderon gets put back in charge of the team because Nightwing's like, no more for me being in charge. And then we get another scene of the Reach, or not the Reach, the Light take Warworld, and then we get Warworld bouncing. The heroes defending Warworld end up on the tower, and it leaves. Now we all know where Warworld is going. With the evidence compiled by the League, or by, not the League, but Young Justice, that's enough evidence to free the League from their international jail. So I think, personally, my prediction is they're going to kill Superman and the rest before they rejoin the ranks, because that would prove too much. So that's what's going on right there. But now with Warworld gone, there's nobody really, no badass evil menace defending the Earth other than the heroes. And and then again, if the episode just ended here, also 4.5. But here we go for the 5, folks. Black Beetle's like, listen. She's like, he's talking to the science director. The science director's like, well, wouldn't the Lancers get here? They know we violated the treaty and messed with Earth before we were invited in. And he's like, nah, let them have their victory. Nah, they're not gonna find out anything because we're gonna destroy the world as we leave. And that's the episode. Woo! With the fire. Turnabout is fair play, man. That is woo! That is what I'm talking about. All right. The pacing in this episode was good. The animation, always amazing. It started off a little slow and moved up into awesome action and back in. We had so much story, it was not even funny. The true goal of the Light, we always knew what the true goal of the Reach was. The fact that in that deal they struck, the Reach would become their overlords is crazy to me. Excuse me. We got Calderon's ultimate plan coming in and taking out a bunch of the Light, wounding the Light, crippling the Reach, wounding the Light. I mean, if you think about what the Reach lost, they lost half their fleet, and they lost the Warworld, and 2 Beetles. So they are down. And then the Light went with contingency plans, man. They took Warworld, they bounced. You know they're going after the League. And now Young Justice can't even do anything because they're gonna have to save the world from these douches that are gonna destroy the world as they leave. So remember, there's still that dark future that didn't really change. It was still apocalyptic afterwards. So we'll see how it turns out. But I mean, that's pretty much it out of me. I am. This was a great episode. Again, 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please subscribe if you can. And this is your buddy Alert Wolf signing out.